All right, well, gang, it's a few after. I'm going to go ahead and get rolling here. Welcome to today's training. I've met you all, so you already know I'm David Satterfield, the technical director here at KW Consultants. We are recording this session, so always like to still do an intro. But today we are going to be going through some smart plans. We kind of tailored our training titles to go with the spring cleaning and Easter and whatnot. So today's topic is how to reach out to your peeps. I should have brought some more Peeps or something into the office. I'm sure we can find some leftovers at Walgreens or CVS or something, right? Um, so the smart plans, basically, they're a great way to reach out to your clients, whether they're brand new clients, whether they're people that you have had pre-existing relationships with for a while. Great way to do touches on a regular basis and just make sure that you're basically putting yourself out there and staying on the forefront of the mind of your clients. You always want to garnish those relationships and build those relationships. So if somebody is not actively either searching for a home or looking to sell their home, at some point in time, when that occurrence does happen, I hear from other trainings that cycle is typically 5 to 8 years, depending on where you live. Then they will have you on the forefront of their mind and hopefully reach out to you when the time comes for them to do that. So that's kind of what SmartPlans can do. They can help automate that process for you. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to pull up my command here. And then share my screen with everybody. Can everybody see that okay, hopefully? Thumbs up if you can. Michelle, good. Got a head down? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so gang, there's the I'm in command right now at the home screen, and there's always there's something I always like to just make sure that a couple things actually to make sure that everybody does prior to us jumping into this stuff. We are pushing about 300 agents here, consultants. I never like to assume that somebody has or has not done something. You never can tell. So I'm just going to walk you through a couple of kind of precursor steps of getting in and using SmartPlan. So. If you're in command, you can either follow me on the screen, or if you're the type of person that likes to open up your stuff and kind of, go along and click along as we're going, that's fine too. And also feel free to please come off of mute at any time, ask any questions. The more interactive this is, the better. It's not a big audience. I don't have to do a Q&A at the end. If we have to dive down a rabbit hole too bad, then I may put that off for either till the end of the training, or it might be something that we might just need to look up or talk about one-on-one. So, all right. So without any further ado, a couple things I want to show you guys, just to make sure that your command is set up properly so that you can use SmartPlans in the first place. I'm going to come up here on the upper right-hand side of my command screen where my headshot photo and my name is. And when I click on that down there, always get the command menu. Excuse me. And we're going to go down to the setting options and click on that. Okay. So we'll come into settings. And the reason I do this is the first thing I want to make sure we do, we talked about SmartPlans, how that's going to automate your client touches or your follow-up process, things like that. One of the things that we can use in your SmartPlans is texting service. And the texting service that we have through command is called Twilio. So one thing I like to do is come into the settings here, and if you scroll down all the way down here, very bottom, you're going to notice that there is the Twilio messaging service that we have available to us. That is going to allow you to send text messages, automated text messages through command. Okay, some of the SmartPlans have those on them. You might choose to go with SmartPlans that don't have those on there. But we do like to show, or I always like to show this to everybody, so that if you have not set up your Twilio account, you'll notice, like on mine, my disclaimer, I'm not an agent, so I am not subscribed right now. And you can see that right here. Mine says not subscribed as my current status. So if I did want to subscribe, I could do a couple of different ways. I could click here on subscribe in marketplace button just to the right, or up here on the very top, you've got this button here. I always say it looks like kind of like a Mexican hacienda. Maybe that's just because I need we all need a vacation or something, go to Mexico. But if I click on that, both of those will just take me to the marketplace, the KW marketplace. I'm going to go ahead and click on that just so you can see it. And then once I get there, this is how you would actually go and subscribe to the Twilio service. They do have plans that are pretty low. You can send up to 300 text messages for it's about $3 a month, 316 a month, and it gives you a description of how that works. Okay. So again, at some point in time, you may need to go over there and subscribe for that if you have not yet. If you already have, you've already got it set up, that's great. Again, I just always like to verify that people know in order to use the texting options in the smart plans, you will need to have a Twilio account set up. Okay. So that's the first thing I always like to show. The second thing I always like to show is while we're here in the settings, if you look over on the left-hand side, you're going to see some more settings options. You've got general settings, followed by command settings, followed by connect settings. I'm going to go ahead and click on connect settings, and you'll see the option that's there is called your marketing profile. I'm going to go ahead and click on marketing profile. And this is the other area that I always like to make sure that everybody has come in and set up. Don't worry for today's class if you don't have this set up yet, or if you're missing any information, that's fine. But I would definitely write it down as homework to either come in and check this, or if you find out that you're missing some information, to go ahead and get that up to date and updated for you. Okay. What the marketing profile does, if I were to go and just create every single brand marketing piece that I have in command, whether it's my agent site or a social media post or social media ad, maybe some smart plans, it's going to continuously ask me for things like first name, last name, phone number, email address, what's your website, where's your headshot, you got to upload a headshot photo, okay? That would become a time-consuming process. I always like to tell people that my job here at KW is twofold. One, I want you to be effective and be able to use the software, but I also want you to be efficient. That's number two. So anytime I can save you a little bit of time, whether it's, a few seconds here or a couple minutes there, it adds up over your work day, work week, work year, okay? So the marketing profile is great because you come in here one time and you set up all the information, including your headshot photos, including your team logos if you have them. And then anytime you go off and create anything within command, again, whether it's your agent sites, your Facebook posts or ads, or coming into the smart plans, it will just pull that information for you each time. You just do it one time and it'll grab it for you and bring it in, and that will save you a ton of time. Okay. So again, just to refresh, we did get to this by going up here on the command menu. We went to settings, and then from settings, we came over here to connect settings and then your marketing profile. Do also please make sure that this option over here on the right-hand side is selected and turned on. It says use my information to brand my agent site. It should by default be green. I bring that up because I have found a few agents where that was turned off for some reason. Both by default as a new agent, or a couple of experienced agents came in and for some reason theirs turned off. If it is, it won't be able to pull that information forward for you. Okay. So just to scroll through, I won't take too long on this. We do this in about every class, but you'll see some of the basics here. Some in the marketing profile of information types that you're going to need to have. Your photo, if you have a team logo, anything in text that's a red asterisk, that is a required field. So my first name, last name, obviously. You can put your agent license number in here, your job title, realtor. If you have any professional accreditations, designations, credentials, etc. There is a bio in here. They've actually included a very generic bio for you. Why choose me as your agent? And it's already got some text, some script in there. You will want to come in here and update that at some point in time, though, to personalize that to yourself. Down below, again, some more required fields. You got your mobile phone, office phone. I don't know why they call it mobile phone and cell phone, like there's a difference now. To me, it's the same thing, but hey, that's just me splitting hairs. Email address, websites. Here's all your market center information. You're definitely going to want to have that. If you do not have the KW Consultants logo, excuse me, or we have found some instances lately where people have been using older or the wrong logos. That's been a big thing because of compliance. We've had some fine scenarios come up. We do not want that to happen to you guys. So please make sure you have the most recent logo. If you need to, just go to kwcresources.com. That's the resources page that Angela set up. It's got a lot of great resources for all of our agents, all of the leadership's contact information, my Calendly schedule link, Jen Vickers as well. But there's a link there for our Google Share Drive that has all the different versions of our KW Consultants logo. And I just went in recently and renamed all of those. Instead of them saying like RGB and CMYK and you scratching your head going, I don't know what that's for. I gave them brand new names, and now they say, for digital and web, here's high quality for print, etc. So very easy for you to go in there, make sure you got the right logo, and make sure you have that uploaded here. Okay. We do have some compliance areas for your legal footer text, optional for us, but you can put in text, links, or graphics. some links that you can put for your social media stuff. This should be your realtor page, not your personal page. But you've got spaces there for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I always tell everybody, if you don't have, let's say, an Instagram page or a Twitter page, but you would like to show that you have a bit, kind of a high social media presence, it's okay to put maybe the KWRI page on there, or maybe if you want to drill down even more locally, to put the KW Consultants page on there as well. We're constantly updating that information. So it looks like you have a good social media presence, but really you don't have to do the work in the background, which is always kind of nice, okay? And then the last couple of things we have on there is your Facebook ads and your Google Analytics ID if you're using those. Some of you may show that you have your KW branded app down there as well. You should have a link for that, okay? So just maybe spend a little bit of time there, half hour, an hour, make sure that that is up to date. Even if you've gone in there before and done it, you may want to go in and just check it to update it. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions on the marketing profile, okay? Let me, I got to move this Zoom window out of the way. There we go. It's covering up all of my my menus. So we're going to go ahead and bounce over to SmartPlans. It's over here on the left-hand side. You've got all these navigation links, or we call them applets. If you ever hear somebody call them an applet, that's all they're talking about. It's navigation links. You'll notice as I pause my cursor, it gives a little screen tip that tells me the names of the applets. I'm okay doing that. Some people actually like to see the menu items there. If you're that type of person, just come up here, please, to the red KW logo and click on that. It'll actually expand that out for you in case you'd like to see those menus. It'll leave it there for you if you leave it that way. Again, me personally, I like the extra working space on my screen, so I leave them shrunk and I use a little screen tips. But all that to say, we're going to go to SmartPlans. It looks kind of like a little diploma, or little checklist here. Go ahead and click on that. And boom, we are in our SmartPlans area. So again, gang, SmartPlans is a great way to just kind of automate your touches out to your clients, whether that's an initial touch, whether that is a follow-up, whether you're checking up with them in the neighborhood touches, maybe bi-weekly or monthly, etc., maybe annually for their birthday or for their home anniversary. Just a whole bunch of things you can do here. Okay. So I want to bring up just a regular plan. Okay. Let's take an open house, for example. If I were to go and do an open house, maybe I have people coming in. I've got a paper and pen sign-in sheet. I have them, actually write out like their name, their email address, phone number, etc. And then after the open house, I do the open house for 5-6 hours, etc. Maybe we get 30, 40, 50 people coming through there, or over a weekend, if we have a good one. And the day after that, or maybe in that evening, I've got some follow-up actions to do. I've got a plan. Okay, well, plan starts step number 1. I need to take that database and I need to enter in the contacts or the sign-in sheet, and I need to enter those contacts into my command database. Okay. Then maybe I want to send out a text to everybody, step 2, and say, hey, thanks for coming to the open house today. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to contact me with any questions. And then so I don't barrage them, maybe I want to wait 2-3 days, and maybe I'm going to follow that up with an email. And maybe that email will have the listing page that I've created, that's got the property information. Maybe it's got a neighborhood snapshot on there with some demographic information. My contact information, of course, as a potential agent for them to get a hold of, etc. And so step 3 would be my email. Maybe step 4 is I want to wait a little while after that email, 4, 5, 6 days. And then I want to go ahead, and if they left me their phone number, why not give them a call and see if, you can actually establish or start a relationship with them in case whether they're looking now or not, whether in the future they start to look for a home or to buy or sell, or if they have somebody that they can refer you to or refer to you as well. So that's the plan. A smart plan is going to take all those steps and it's just going to automate them electronically and make your life easier. So it takes a little bit of time to set it up on the forefront, but once you get it done, you can use it on your pre-existing contacts within Command, or anybody that you bring on as a client or a contact. Maybe you have another open house later on in the future. You'll see that it's very easy for us to use what's called triggers now. And as soon as you apply that tag to somebody, they're going to get popped right into that smart plan. And all of those steps are going to happen in the way that you program them to do so. Okay. So again, gang, we're going to do this 2 ways. The first thing I'm going to show you is the smart plan library. I always like to bring this up. We are going to go and we're going to create a couple of these from scratch. I definitely want you to make sure how to do those. But what happened is after Mega Camp last year, they came up with a smart plan library. And now they let agents that go in here and create a smart plan from scratch. You can upload it to the library and share it with everybody that is connected to Command. So I'm going to go ahead and up here at the top, you see my smart plans. I've got, it looks like about 3 down there. And I'm going to go ahead and go over to the library here. And you'll notice when I look at the library, it's when you first come into the screen, it's organized in a specific way. The first is the top 10 ones at Keller Williams. You can see things like a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Okay, there's an 8x8 new contact engagement. And if you don't know what an 8x8 new contact engagement is, that's okay. It tells you right there, hey, this builds relationships and wins the real estate agent mindshare battle with this 8-week plan. Okay, here's a quarterly call plan. Here's a midterm nurture. I can use these arrows or these dots down below to kind of scroll through, okay? Here's a birthday one, like I mentioned before. Maybe you want to touch base with them annually on birthdays. Here's a monthly neighborhood nurture. This is a great thing to use in conjunction with Heather and I last week just talked about doing neighborhood videos for social media and social media posts. That's a great way to take those and share those as well. Here's an open house follow-up. Just like I mentioned before, I had a certain amount of steps in there in that plan. Well, now you've got a smart plan in there, okay, in the library for you. How to promote my app. Hey, happy home anniversary, okay? So these are the kind of the top ones right now. A few things about them. You'll notice a few things when you get in here. One is the name. Two is there is a description. If the description is ever, let me see if I can find one here real quick. Sometimes these descriptions get really wordy. Maybe if I scroll down. Yeah, like here, if you notice that the description ends with ... like it runs out of room and you can't read it all, just pause your mouse cursor there and that screen tip pops up and it finishes telling you the entire description. So don't worry if you ever can't read it, hey, I'm not sure whether I want to use that or not because I can't read the whole description. Just pause your mouse cursor on there and you'll be able to do so, okay? It also shows you when this was published. It shows you how many agents are currently using or have downloaded that one. If I come back here to the beginning, the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, that's obviously one of the most popular ones. There's over 35,000 agents at KW using this or that have downloaded it so far, okay? We do have a star rating program, just kind of like when you go shopping on Amazon.com, or I'm a tech guy, so BestBuy.com for me. So it tells you, not only the star rating, but how many people have actually rated that particular smart plan as well. You can kind of take a look at those. It tells you how many steps are on there, what the duration is in days, and how many touches. And gang, I will talk about this later, but there are rules about how many times you can reach out and touch your clients using a smart plan. They don't want you to barrage them 5 times a day. So there are some limits there. And when we get in there, we will talk about that. Okay. Tells you who the author is. Tells you if there was speculation they were going to allow people to start charging for those. I haven't seen any that have been charged for yet. So right now they should all be free. The other great thing is if you want to view the steps, like I mentioned, all those different steps in there. If I click on that, it opens up a window and it tells me, hey, here's my steps. It's going to send out an HTML email. Okay. It's going to be a 2-week delay. And then it's just going to repeat that process. Okay. So this is a 15-day cycle. There's 3 steps in it and there's 1 touch. That was for my bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Okay. If we take a look at another one, let me scroll through here again. Like on the open house follow-up, this one will be a little bit different. If I click on the view steps for the open house, similar to what I mentioned before, right? They send out an SMS message right from the get-go. Hey, maybe that's your, thanks for stopping by. Then they have a delay in there. And also, if I pause my cursor again on these individual steps, I can see that little screen tip that says exactly what the SMS message is. Hey, so-and-so, thanks for coming by. What did you think of the open house? Okay, you can edit that text, by the way, just so you know. All right, there's a 1-day delay in there, and then there's a touch task in there. It gives you a recommendation. Hey, send a nice to meet you at the open house email. Maybe you want to, design one of those in the Command Design Studio. Another 2-day delay. Then there's a phone call. Again, just trying to nurture this relationship from the open house. And then some more delays, some more text, some more phone calls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if I go to the top again, this one actually goes over a 20-day, almost a 3-week period, 15 steps with 7 touches. Okay, so that's pretty good plan there for you. All right. So again, that's the library. That's the top 10 up at the top. If I scroll down here, here's the actual top rated ones, literally by the star ratings. You can see these are all going to be 4-star, very close to being 4-star. Again, you can see the amount of ratings that people have put on there, or how many people have rated them, etc. Who the author is. If I scroll down even more, these are the what's new. This is literally the latest and the greatest smart plans in the library. And you can see literally these were uploaded, looks like today, April 21st, April 21st, April 21st. So they won't necessarily have, a lot of agents that have downloaded them or ratings on there, obviously, because they're brand new to the scene. But this is a great way to come in and just see like the latest and greatest that everybody's pumping out there. Okay. Now you can see what's new. There's 50 brand new ones literally this week. If I go up here to the top rated, there's 646. I mean, there's a lot of smart plans. Okay. They're really starting to build up a great library. The disadvantage is you might just want to sit, you might not want to sit here, I should say, and just scroll through these all the time. I could certainly click on the see all button over here. But again, I'm going to be scrolling through my heart's content. Okay. Got to be a better way to kind of narrow that down, right? So we do have some options for doing that. You'll notice that we have a search option. So if I just wanted to look for open houses, I could come up in here and I could just type in, hey, let me see all your open houses. And when I hit enter, holy cow, did not even know that. 61 different open house smart plans. That's a lot of open house smart plans, okay? So you really do want to make sure you're grabbing one that suits you, okay? I never tell anybody how to run your business. I can certainly give you some tips and recommendations and things I think are helpful, but really you're going to want to find one that suits your style, or how you're going to run your business as a realtor, okay? So that's searching by smart plan name. You'll notice I do have a search option over here. If I click on this little down arrow, I can also choose to search by author name. Now, you may not know a whole lot of them, but here's one I know. I don't know if anybody of you have looked at his stuff, but Marty Miller is the guy on YouTube from KW that does the 66-day command challenge. Marty Miller is constantly pumping out some great volume, okay? Ken Pozak, he's the one that's like the KW YouTube guy. If you haven't looked at any of Ken Pozak stuff, and I was trying to think of the other one, the guy with the beard. Nick Baldwin is one of the other big tech trainers at KW as well. So I know Marty Miller is putting out some good stuff. So I may not want to just sit there and search through stuff, but if I type in Marty Miller, 2 L's, David, if I could type today, and I look by author name, boom, there you go. I've got 6 different smart plans from Marty Miller. Now, this guy is literally creating the training YouTube videos that all of KW is using to learn command. I would trust a Marty Miller smart plan. That's just me personally. Here's some great ones. I'm missing phone numbers from my contacts. How do I send out an email campaign and try and get people's phone numbers? Or conversely, how do I get a hold of people who I have their phone number and I want their email address so I can add them to my email campaigns or my neighborhood nurtures that I'm doing, okay? A couple different ones. Here's the 66-day challenge. He's got on there some monthly call plans, etc. Okay, so just another search option, gang. And then the last one over here is description as well, okay? To me, the smart plan name, this would actually be a keyword that shows up in the description, not just in the name. So if you search by smart plan name and maybe open house didn't come up, I know it did. We had 61 of them. But if it didn't, you could always type that in the description and maybe it'll be in there, okay? You also have a filter option here as well. The duration, the author, how many touches. Maybe you want to, maybe your thing is, hey, I want to do a smart plan, but I don't want to hit these people more than 3-4 times. Okay. So you could do that. How many agents are using them? Maybe you want the more popular ones. Maybe you want to, hang on, guys, got something. Oh, Justin, you got to head out. Thank you, sir. Thanks for stopping by, Justin. We'll see you later, bud. He's got to run. So again, just another way to filter those out again, because there are so many now. I mean, we're getting up towards 700 of these things in here. Okay. So gang, that's the library. I'm going to go over here and I'll just download one to show you. I think we had one. Yeah, here's the promote my KW app. Hang on just a second. Sorry. Every time I move this Zoom window out of the way, it gets right back in the way again eventually. Okay, so all you have to do to add that to your smart plan library is just click on this option that says add smart plan. It's going to bring up this window and it's going to tell you that, hey, it does have to have a unique name. Okay, so I'm going to change this to David's promote my app. Oh, you know what? I think I already have that one in my library. I probably chose the wrong one. Anyway, you'll notice that it's shaded out right now, so it won't let me download it. But if I did go in there, You just give it an individual name and hit download. And then when I come over here, back to my smart plans, like I've got one here, like here's my follow-up Facebook follow-up for doing ads. It would show up here in your smart plan list, and you would be able to edit that. Okay. So, gang, that the smart plans themselves are ultimately made to save you time. Having an entire library full of them that people have already created, and you can just grab and just go in and edit and modify them or personalize them to yourself, is going to save you even more time. So definitely use the library. I always like to show that right from the get-go, just to ultimately save you the most amount of time you can. Okay. However, it does come up sometimes where people are like, hey, I didn't like the one that they had, or, it had some steps in there, but it was too many. Maybe there were, again, too many touches in there. There were 7 touches. I don't want to do them that many times. I only want to touch them 2, 3, 4 times, etc. I do like to point out, gang, that when you download this stuff from the library, there are some restrictions there. Okay. What you can do, you can change the name. Okay. It has to be a unique name, but you can change the name. You can go into the smart plan and you can edit the individual steps so that you can update, obviously, with your information, or, if you've got stuff in the design library or graphics, update, to an email template or some design stuff, etc. Here's what you cannot do. You cannot add steps. It's not allowed. You kind of have to take them as is, and you can't delete steps either. Okay. So there's some great content in the library. Don't get me wrong, but I've had numerous occasions, where agents come back and they say, hey, I'm trying to modify that thing and it won't let me. It's because you cannot add and delete steps. You kind of have to keep it as is, and it maintains the integrity of that smart plan from the original author. Some people, okay, well, that sucks. Well, no, it doesn't. We just have to go and create our own now. Okay. If you find something outside those bounds, or you just have a great original idea for a smart plan, maybe it's going to be so good, you can upload it to the library when you're done. Then you're going to want to go in and do what we're about to do, which is we will just create our smart plan from scratch. The heck with everybody else. I know what I'm doing. David taught me an awesome class. I'm going to go make my smart plan. So that's what we're going to go do. So on that note, I'm going to pretend that maybe I had an open house, and maybe for some reason, people just didn't give me their phone numbers. Okay. And after this, I want to make sure that I'm doing some other smart plans like neighborhood nurtures, or maybe I was missing email addresses. Could be either one. And in order to be able to contact those clients, I need to get that other information from them. So I'm going to create a smart plan that I can assign contacts to. It's going to automate it, send it out to these people, and it's going to try and get me their contact information that I'm missing, using the contact information that I do currently have. Okay. Remember, if you do a text, you do have to be signed up to Twilio. You'll see that on mine because I'm not going to, you can see it right here. Twilio account not connected. Okay. It's reminding me again, hey, don't forget, doofus, you don't have a texting capability right now. That's okay. We can still go through the process. All right. So I'm going to come over here on the top right. We've got a create button. I'll go ahead and click on that. And Michelle, thank you for laughing at my corny jokes. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and just click in missing open house information. Sounds good. All right. Again, it doesn't need to be a unique name. It does tell you smart plans must be unique. I'm going to click on apply. And here we go. It's going to take me into that edit smart plan window. Okay. Now, we won't go through all of this right now, but I do want to show over on the right-hand side. First of all, you've got all these different actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Create a task, make a phone call, send an email, send a SMS, set a delay. You can take a smart plan and you can add it to a whole nother smart plan. So you can kind of stack things on top of each other. And if you ever needed to, you could always restart the smart plan. If you're in the middle of the editing process and you go, you know what, this is hosed, just wipe it, let's start over. You don't have to go through the process of get out, delete, whatever. Just restart it and it'll allow you to continue to do that, okay? What I do want to show, though, is it's got some great tips and rules over here, okay? I would definitely encourage you to take some time and check this out. I mentioned before that you have some restrictions on how many times that you can actually reach out and touch a client. So it allows up to 7 tasks a day per smart plan. Delays must be added in there to include more, okay? I do want to warn you that if you do not put delays in there, if I take that open house example I gave you, I said I wanted to do a text, an email, and a phone call. If I did not put delays in there, and I started that smart plan, I applied it to a contact, or, I put a trigger on there, and the very next person that comes in would get a text message. They would immediately get an email, and I would immediately get a reminder to call these people. That's not how we want that to happen. Okay. You definitely want to set your delays in there. Okay. So a lot of other stuff in there. So there's some tips on setting the delays. What I want to show you is down at the very, very bottom, because this is a hard rule limitation. Okay. Per smart plan, touches cannot exceed 7 touches within a 7-day period. You can't do it. You are not allowed within a smart plan to reach out to a client more than once per day. Okay. 7 over 7 days. You cannot reach out to a client more than 12 times, no more than 12 touches within a 30-day period. So you definitely want those delays in there to span that out. And in one smart plan, you may not have more than 15 touches total. Even if it's a 90-day plan, you're not allowed to. Okay. So that's how it keeps you from kind of barraging your clients. And, that'll definitely drive people away if you're just constantly getting barraged. But I do like to show those rules in there. I've had people that have, kind of exceeded those, come back and, hey, how come this thing won't let me do it? Well, that is why. All right. Well, ours is going to be very simple. We said, hey, we had an open house. We're missing some information. I want to use what I do have to get what I don't have. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's say that we have phone numbers, but we need email addresses. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to send out an SMS message. Okay. I just ask everybody, hey, this is David. I goofed up. I didn't get your email address, but I did have your phone number. Hope it's okay for me to text you. But would you go ahead and provide your email address? Don't worry about that giant red thing that just popped out. That's just command reminding me again that, hey, David, you do not have a Twilio connected. I realize that. That's why we talked about it at the beginning. You guys would definitely go and get your Twilio account set up. I might just do that just so I can practice and maybe even send you guys some practice stuff so you can see it. Okay.
So and how do we do not call list?
What's that, Heather?
How do we get a do not call list?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not even sure how they're administering the do not call list. But all of our stuff like Twilio and the emails that you send out from Command do have opt-out options. And in your contacts in Command, there is an opt-out option on there. So if you do ever get one back, or somebody just texts you or emails you or calls you back and says, please don't contact me anymore, you could go wipe the contact, or you could do what's probably the better idea and just mark them as do not contact. If there is a do not contact selected within the contacts, it will not put this into a Command email or a Twilio text or anything. Command will not do it. So that's actually the better way to do it, to make sure that you're complying with that. Okay. Good question. All right. So if it was from Twilio, gives you kind of not really a fake phone number, but it gives you kind of a phone number that you use for your texting marketing purposes. That would be the phone number that shows up here on top. Again, I don't have my Twilio account connected, so it won't show up, but where it says from, that's the phone number that would show up. Okay. So for text, I've actually got a document that I made to help me out here. This is my follow-up plan here. So I've got a kind of a text script and an email script. So since I'm texting them, I've already made one that says, hey, so-and-so, it's David Satterfield with KW Consultants. I hope all is well with your family. I was going to check in with you via an email, but realized I don't have your phone number, but not your email address. What is your email address? Also, would you please send me home address? That's a great way to follow up and get some other information as well. So you could certainly type it in that box. I'm just going to go ahead and do the much easier thing and go ahead and copy and paste that. Here we go. Oh, must not have grabbed all of it. Looks like it's cut off there.
Do we have to type in each?
Oh, you know what? What's that, Heather?
We have to type in each client's name?
No, you do not have to do client's name. That's a good question. We're going to get to that. What we're doing now is we're just making the smart plan. Once we're done with this, then we're going to actually assign it to contacts or set up a trigger so it'll grab everybody that's a new contact that comes in. Okay. I thought that I didn't grab the whole thing, but notice, gang, I do like to point this out. You do have, because we're texting, you have a character limit over here. So that's what happened. My generic message was a little too long. You can see it only has 480 characters available. So I'm just going to end this. What's your email address? I'm just going to end this at send you info on homes in your neighborhood. And once I get under that, you can see now I'm under the 480 character limit there. Okay, so I should be good to go. Excuse me. Ooh. Sorry, get dehydrated talking and teaching all day. All right. So gang, there's a couple things I want to show you here. The first off is your message type. It can be what's called a static or a dynamic message. If I go to static, you'll see this will come into play more when you do emails. But a static message set up as a single text message, not recommended if you're repeating smart plans. So like the neighborhood nurture, not a good idea to do a static one. Okay, for a text message, absolutely perfect. That's hilarious. My Alexa is picking up my voice in the background. It's talking to me now. So yeah, sorry, there's nobody actually in my office. All right, the dynamic option that is set up multiple text messages. And again, also if you were doing an email, this would also allow me to put things in there like graphics or links, hyperlinks, if I wanted to direct them to something. The static message is just going to be a single line of text. And then it won't have anything dynamic in there like pictures or photos or things like that, okay? All right, so gang, I've got this set up. I've got a couple different options here. If I had created a large one, which we are going to do here shortly, I could use these buttons here, the move up and move down arrows to kind of just cycle my way up and down. It's easier than scrolling sometimes. If I came in here and I started creating a smart plan and I just totally hosed it up, then I could hit the delete button, or I could save it here down at the bottom, or I could save it up here on the top right as well. Either one is fine, okay? Now, if I knew, and Heather, you asked a great question, if I knew right now that I had some contacts that I had already designated that I'm missing their email addresses, I could use this button right over here up at the top. And when I click on that, it's going to, that's going to ask me to save first. There we go. I could go ahead and I can assign pre-existing contacts to the smart plan. So you notice if I scroll down through my contacts, all of mine are always fake people. I use cartoon characters and movie characters. You see a lot of Avengers and Justice League, etc. All right. So, but notice I did tag some of these. Okay. So the Incredible Hulk, that guy bounces around a lot. He's hard to keep track of. Definitely need his phone number. If I scroll down, did I take him out? Oh, that's why I'm only looking at part of my contacts. There we go. All right, so over here, there's Spider-Man. Here we go. So like the Vision and Scarlet Witch, okay, I need email addresses for them, all right? So I can go ahead and again, I can assign pre-existing contacts to that smart plan. I just put a check mark there. I can search for people's names. I can use this tag option to look for certain tags. If you've got tags set up, maybe you want to have that, pre-approved. Maybe you work with veterans and VA loans. You can look for your VA people, et cetera, whatever your situation is, okay? And when I click on add to smart plan, it's going to ask me a couple of things. Now, remember I did multiple contacts. So it's going to ask me, hey, would you like to start this smart plan right now? If I choose that option, hit confirm, it's immediately going to send them a text out through Twilio, okay? Or I can choose it on a certain date. If I click here, start on the following date, maybe I want to give this a date. Maybe you're the admin or marketing person for your team. Your rainmaker needs to check this out. Maybe you just want to, hey, I'm making this right now. It's late at night. I'm going to check it in the morning before it goes out, etc. But you could go in here and you could set another date. Okay. Now, I brought up the fact that I did multiple contacts because of this very last step. I can stagger start this over the next few days. If you do that, maybe I had, again, we use the open house scenario. Maybe I had 40 people at that open house, but I don't want to send 40 texts a day, from an open house. So you can tell command, what is the maximum contacts per day? So if I wanted to up this, I know I only have 2 people in there right now. Come on. Oh, because I don't have it selected. David needs afternoon coffee. All right. I only have 2 in there, but I could set this, again, if I had 40 contacts in there, I could set this up to 10. And what command would do is it would send it to 10 people on day 1. Then it would send on 10 people on day 2, 10 people on day 3. If you had leftovers, it was 45. Then on day 5, it would send it to the last 5 people. Okay. So you can stagger that as well. Again, so you're not just barraging everybody. All right. So for now, I'm just going to say, hey, go ahead and send this out tomorrow. I'll click on confirm. All right, so it kind of gives me my information. Please confirm that you want these people to be contacted. It's reminding me again, shocker, that I don't have my Twilio set up. But when I click on confirm, there's my missing open house information, okay? I can click on the down arrow and it shows me the steps. If I pause my cursor over that step, it's going to show me what the exact step says, if it's an email or a text like we did. And then I've got some other options here. I can come over here to add contact. If I wanted to put more people into that smart plan, I could edit it. It would take me right back to the same window that we were at before, or the three little buttons always give you a menu. I could copy that. Maybe I want to take this exact one, but I want to switch it to an email instead of a text like we said before. I could publish this to the library if I thought, hey, I've got a cool thing here I want other people to share. I want to share that with other people. Or if I didn't make this right, or it had outlived its usefulness or something I downloaded from the library and I didn't really want it, I could click on the delete button, okay? Few different options there, all right? Now, I do want to show you there's another way to, I'm going to go in here and we are going to edit this. Because the next thing I want to show you is what's called a trigger event, okay? What I showed you was how to make a very basic rudimentary smart plan, how to assign pre-existing contacts. But here's the thing. What if my open house was over 3 days? We had a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday showing going. And I set up the smart plan ahead of time, but I know that I'm going to get, 20, 30, 40 people on, day one, maybe another 10 or 20 on the other one, et cetera. I'm going to have them coming in at all times. And I'd like to get the ball rolling on the smart plans and thank them for coming as soon as possible. So what I can do is I can set up a trigger event. When I click on that, you are actually able to take those tags that you create in your contacts. Again, it could be maybe it's a group of people, like I've got the Avengers of the Justice League. Maybe it's a situation like I showed, my missing phone numbers, missing emails, whatever it is, however it is that you have your people categorized. I can come down here and I can select tags. And I can say, maybe I have a tag set up for this specific open house. Maybe this, the Avengers, they're constantly blowing up their homes or their headquarters, like every other movie. So they're constantly looking for new stuff. So I know these guys come in and they're doing open houses all the time. So I'm just going to choose the Avengers as my trigger. Okay. And it tells you right here, you can add up to 10 tags. You just have to do them individually. Okay. I can't come in here and add 10, but I can add it 10 times if I have multiple groups. So I'll choose that trigger. It's just asking me, hey, do you want to confirm this trigger? Anybody that you put in here as an Avenger from now on will automatically get put into the smart plan. So it's a way to kind of prep yourself for the future. Okay, anybody that comes in now that I tag with this, they automatically go in that smart plan. That's the time saver. That's what we're shooting for here. So I'm going to confirm that trigger. And you'll notice that I have contact tag trigger is Avengers. Okay. Well, maybe this event is, my buyer's guide. Well, I know the Avengers blow up their homes every other movie, but so do the X-Men and so do the Justice League. Okay, probably the Defenders too, right? The guys on Netflix. I'm going to add another one. All right, I'm going to go over here to tag. I'm going to click on that, and there's my dog lovers. There we go, Justice League. Yes. Let's throw those guys in there. It's going to confirm, hey, are you sure anybody you put in here now with a Justice League is going to get on there? Yes. Flash, he's going to need your house. Batman, I don't even know if he's ever blown up the Batcave, but yeah, absolutely. And so, boom, a couple different times groups or triggers, excuse me, that we have in there from our contact tags. I could continue this. I could add the X-Men. I could add the Defenders. Again, I'm not sure what you have as your tags in your contact database, but definitely want to show that you can add multiple triggers in there, okay? So when you make the you make the smart plan, you can assign pre-existing contacts at that time, all right? When we've made the smart plan and we come out of that, I could always come back here and I could come over here to this add contacts button and again, add some more pre-existing contacts, okay? However, if I want to stop doing that and I just want to tag people, kind of tag it and bag it as we say, then I would come in here and edit it. I would go ahead and I would put in those tag triggers. And now anytime I bring somebody into my database and I tag them, that is a trigger and it will automatically put them into that smart plan, okay? So that is a great time saver. I love that one, all right? The other way that I want to show you, just to give you some diversity, some people like doing things one way or the other way. Let's say that I do bring in some people into my contacts. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce over to my contacts here. All right, so Batman, he's on the Justice League, right? So maybe he wasn't tagged. Actually, let me grab somebody. Yeah, Clark Kent, he's not tagged as a Justice League right now. So maybe I add a contact. and I'm entering in all his contact information. I'm hearing his contact card or her contact card. Gang, you can also come over here. Here's my contact. I have timelines over here on the right. I have opportunities, and I have smart plans. I can just click on the smart plan. Okay. Okay. Say the OH is 3 days. Can we send a message the day after each day so that people get the message not on the same day? Are you asking if you can stagger that, Heather? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that a couple different ways. You can stagger the stuff going out to whatever group you designate. One, by using that stagger option that I showed you, if you had multiple people like in a big group, so it doesn't go out at the same time. Or within the smart plan, you can set those delays. And I haven't shown you how to do that, but I'm going to do that in just a second here. How to actually set a delay in there as well. Okay. All right, so gang, from the again, from a pre-existing contact, or maybe this is one that you just entered in. Maybe you went to a networking event, you got a few contact cards, you punch people in here and you want to put them on that smart plan. Within the contact card, just come over to smart plans. You've got an option here that says add to smart plan. If I click on that, there's all my different smart plans I have available. There's my missing open house. Oh man, I got their phone number, I need their email address, etc. I can click on select, and again, since I just created this contact, or I'm just putting them in there now, it's just one person, I don't get the stagger option. That's only for multiple people. But again, do you want to start this now, or do you want to start this on whatever date I choose? I'll go ahead and choose that date, say confirm. It's reminding me one more time, hey, we're going to send this out to Clark Kent automatically on your Twilio. That's cool. Go ahead and confirm that. And boom, now you can see Clark Kent is now, he's not only a dog lover, but he is assigned to this smart plan right there. Okay, a couple different ways you can do that. I always like to show you multiple options or different ways to do things. Okay, so that was a very basic smart plan. Kind of just want to get, pull the band-aid off and get through that painful part. Now that we kind of know the basics, let's jump in more. I have an open house. I'm expecting a lot of contacts to come in this weekend. I want to create my own. I've already looked in the library. They didn't have anything that just matched up with what I want to do. So one more time, we're going to go create up on the top right. I'm going to call this David's Open House. 1, 2, 3. Let's just call this Avengers Avenue. I would put the name in there, the address. It's easier to keep track of it that way. And then I would make up the custom tag that way as well. So click on apply. It's going to launch me in here. There we go. All right. So open house. We walked through that process before, right? You said the first thing after the open house, I want to send a text message and say, hey, thanks for coming to the open house. I'll just click on send an SMS. And then I would do the same thing, gang. Okay, if I have my Twilio, my number would be up there. I could set that up as static or dynamic. Either type in or copy and paste a pre-existing message that you've got. That's cool. Then I want to set a delay. Okay, I don't want to call them and email them all at the same time. So I'm going to click on the next one here, set delay. See how it puts it right underneath it. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Let's say I'll text them once, and then I'm gonna wait 2 days. Then I'm gonna send them a follow-up email. 2 days is not bad for a follow-up email. So after I have that 2 days set, then I'm gonna go click on send an email. Boom, here comes the email address. Now this one's a little bit different than what we saw from the text. So I'm gonna just say this, call this open. This is an actual email subject line. So I'll call this open house. If I could type properly today, put a space there, David. Open house. Follow up. Chubby fingers and small keyboards don't go together, by the way. All right. Now notice, because it's an email, not a text, look over here at our characters. We've actually got 2,000 characters available for an email. Okay. And notice again, we have the email type. Simple is just your plain text with some basic formatting options. Or if I click on designs, look what happens. If I created an email template in design, like if you're really cool and you went and watched David's class on how to do that on our YouTube channel, nice shameless plug, right? Then I could come here and I could click on this select design option, and it's going to take me to the templates. So I could either use a template and create it now, or I could click up here and say my design templates. I've already got some stuff set up. So I could create that again. See how a little bit of work on the forefront will save you a ton of time later on down the road. Okay. So that is an option. I'm going to stick with simple for now. Same thing. It's good, to make some scripts like this, like I did for yourself in Word document, so you can copy and paste that stuff. All right. So I would send them a follow-up email a couple days later. Hey, thanks for coming. Maybe I want to put the link in there for my landing page with all the listing information. But then once again, set a delay. Okay. I don't want to barrage these guys. So maybe I'm thinking, okay, so I sent a text, I sent an email 2 days later. That's 3 days, 4 days. Let's give them 5 days. And then I'm going to make a phone call. I'll click on phone call. And how many days does that do? I typically leave that at today. It's kind of silly. If you wanted it to be more days, my reasoning is why not make the delay longer? That's just me. So, but you do have that option. Okay, they put it there. The task name, call contacts, etc. You want to do, and then task description. All right. There is one thing I want to show you over here. I'm going to go back to the email, and this applied for the text that we did as well. Rather than Heather brought up the great question about the contacts. You want to make sure that these reach outs that you're doing are personalized to each contact. Okay. Now you don't want to sit there, Michelle, and type out like, hello, Heather, hello, David, hello, Sam, etc. So you can use what's called a form field to automatically tell command, hey, put in the contact names here. And here's how you do that. So it's a lot like, you guys ever get those publisher house clearing sweepstakes, things in your mail, right? They're so generic. Hello, bold David Satterfield at, 5538, blah, 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 blah. Okay. They're using form fields because they've got a database. We're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to start typing my email address. Hello. And then rather than typing a name, I'm going to come over here, this form field option. See, they call it merge field, same thing. Merge fields will automatically it automatically updates with the contact from the associated subject. And when I click on this arrow, I can get my contact's first name and click on that. So notice it doesn't say Bob or Sally or whatever, it just says contact first name. And what it does is as I apply this to a pre-existing contact, or I put a tag trigger in there and I, get somebody in there later on, then their name is going to automatically populate. So then I type my message, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll say thank you. And I can actually put my agent name in there as well. You're in there. So why not? Agent, whoops. Sorry, my mouse is really sensitive. There we go. Agent first name. You do need to put your spaces and stuff in there, though. I will warn you about that. Otherwise, it'll look like a hashtag David Satterfield in all one word. Okay. But agent first name, agent last name. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of form fields you can use up there. Their email addresses, phone numbers, birthdays, etc. Okay. But that's how you kind of get around that thing. And that's how you make sure that you personalize that to everybody. All right. So gang, now if I look at this thing, I've got a nice, big, comprehensive smart plan created here. I send a text, okay? I set a 2-day delay after the text. 2 days after the text, I send an email, either that I created right here, or I went to the design studio and either, grabbed a template or grabbed something that I had previously created. I set another 5-day delay, and then I make a phone call. And that's it right there. So I would do just like we did before. I'd save that. I can assign contacts now. If I wanted to go up here and let me go ahead and save that. Oh, what's it telling me? Probably missing something. My Twilio. Oh, I might have somebody on the do not call list that caught it. Oh, and make a call also. Task description. Yes, make a call. Some of these are required. You can see it's got the red asterisk. I violated my own rule. To these clients. All right. And it's still picking up my Twilio thing. That's okay. I think I have somebody on the do not call list, and that's what it's picking up. All right. So again, I would either add these contacts here. Eventually, though, I would save that and come back to my smart plan library. Yeah, I can get out of that. That's okay. You guys get the idea for that. And again, once I get that, missing open house information. Yeah, I wasn't able to save that because whatever was put in red, it has to do with my Twilio account. Definitely going to go need to fix that. But again, once I save that, I could either assign the contacts while I'm in there. I could set the trigger in there so that at future times, if I tag anybody to the Avengers Mansion open house, then they would get automatically put onto that smart plan, no matter when they got put in there. Okay. Hang on. We got some more. Let's see. Repeat. Cool. If they are on the do not call list, can we send emails or texts? That's actually a great question. I believe that it's literally phone calls, Heather. I honestly would have to go look at it. But again, if they ever do get a hold of you or you get an email back that says something like remove me or unsubscribe, please make sure that you go in there and put them on the do not contact on your contact card. Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure the do not call is literally phone calls. It does not prevent them from texting or emailing you, or you to do that as well. Okay, good questions. All right. So gang, that's kind of SmartPlans in a nutshell. All right. You know, they seem kind of intimidating to everybody at first, but hopefully once you walk through this, that's why I do a very basic one first to walk you through the open house. That's actually pretty comprehensive. We had about 5-6 different steps in there, but really the SmartPlans, how, you know, awesome can they be is really only limited by your creativity, you know, for what you can make on that. So again, you can add the contacts while you're in there. You can add them later on, or you can put those triggers in there so that if at any point in the future you add those contacts, and that's the best case scenario, it automatically triggers those people in there. Okay. I would create something like maybe new client. And then, you know, you do a reach out or something with an email. Your neighborhood nurturers can work that way. And literally like tag them in the name, create tags that are the names of the neighborhoods. Maybe you want to go Hilliard or Dublin if you want to do it by, you know, suburb, or drive in a little further, you know, Hilliard Road or Avery Road for Dublin, however you want to do that. Okay. Anybody have any questions on those? Heather's smiling. I'm going to take that as a good thing.
No, that was really helpful. I really, you know, I think I was very intimidated by this at first, but after like watching this was really helpful. So I'm glad that I.
Oh, good. Okay. No, I'm glad you said that, Michelle. And that's typically the case. You know, everybody thinks about SmartPlans, and when you come in here on your own, you're like, what in the heck am I doing? But after you see it, it's actually not too bad. But yeah, if you guys go in, feel free. I am going to post this on our YouTube channel if you need to rewatch it. But if you get into one, or like you create one and you're trying to administer it later on, just like anything else, ladies, feel free to get a hold of me. You've got my Calendly link. Feel free to set up a one-on-one, and I can help you set those up, or just kick them off and get them going for you. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Right. Awesome. Appreciate that, Michelle. Thanks, Heather. It's good to see you again too.
You know.
All right. You ladies enjoy your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Bye-bye.